to the Influence Factory podcast. This program is dedicated to support professionals who have a desire to develop their digital business influence so they can navigate through a fast-paced, constantly growing digital world. We invite newcomers as well as our family of business influencers to a place to play, share ideas, questions, tips, and guidance with other thought leaders around the globe. Sit back and enjoy our program with our host Dean DeLisle as he interviews guests. News and commentary is provided by Cait Hassett and Jackson DeLisle. Power Move lessons are provided by the Influencer Marketing Department at Social Jack. And production, editing, and distribution is provided by the Social Jack production team.
For the Influencer News Update today, we are going to be talking about 10 expert tips to improve your Facebook video marketing. So every time I ask, what kind of articles do you guys want to hear on the Influencer News Update? People always say, things about video on social, video on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And this article actually, it was a little bit shocking to me because, we always get the question of which one's, better. Is it landscape or is it vertical video? And, there was a study shown that, Buffer teamed up with Animoto and they did a ton of research and finally got down to it. And the vertical video on Facebook is what performs the best. And, that was interesting to me as well because, a lot of times we just automatically go to landscape video because of the fact that like a 16 by 9 ratio, because of the fact that it's able to be used across all platforms. It's able to be used on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those except for Snapchat. But you can, but it just doesn't look good. But yeah, so that's another thing to keep in mind is when you're posting video on Facebook, make sure that you are moving forward with this mobile-friendly environment that is this world we live in. Everything is going to be mobile centric. And there was a quote from I believe Peter Bryan, and he said, companies that are unwilling to move forward with this mobile centric video, they're going to have trouble succeeding on social media. And that's, I think, something to keep in mind is that if you want to succeed and have a successful video marketing campaign, I would definitely advise you to look into doing more vertical video. So that's maybe shooting a secondary video to the one you already shot, but having it available for mobile. And, that's like the biggest thing. Cait, I know you and I talk about it all the time, what's better on which platform. Even when we're not on the show, we talk about it. But, what are your thoughts on that going forward, doing that?
Yeah, well, it's exactly what you said. I think now that we're really seeing people using LinkedIn more on their phones, whereas we've always taught to do landscape videos, I think that it's not really of importance anymore. When I'm on my desktop scrolling LinkedIn at work a lot, I do get frustrated when I see the videos and the pictures in the wrong format. I'm like, oh, it looks so bad. But if I switch over to my phone and I'm on LinkedIn, it looks fine. And so I think that, 90% of users of LinkedIn are still using mobile over desktop. That study came out not so long ago. So I think that, it's okay. It's okay to go to vertical. It's my first decision is always to go landscape, but I think what you're saying is right about everything needs to be mobile friendly now. And so that's a really good point to bring out of this article.
So, yeah, that's awesome. So I want to ask the two of you, maybe Cait. So, let's just talk about the ones that are, biggest with our audience. So if we go LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what would your first gut choice be? And again, I think you say this is hamburger and this is what?
Hot dog.
Hot dog. Okay. So it's vertical versus horizontal, but just give us your quick gut check on how should we shoot for each platform.
I would say I still personally like landscape for Instagram, no matter what they say. I think that it's way easier to center what you're videoing in landscape. It's way easier to hold it steady and center it so that it crops for that perfect square. I still like landscape for Instagram. But as far as anything else is concerned, I think that really vertical is the way to go now because we're seeing so many users use mobile for their social media. Not many people go home and, whip out their laptop to do their 20 minutes a day on LinkedIn. Everybody's just on their phone doing it these days. So by catering to a vertical video, I think we're better off on all platforms.
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear what the audience thinks about this too. We have a lot of people that are on, like Jim Catalano, and I know Rick Gosser's done video now, and some others. So Tracy, so curious what they have to chime in on this. But Jackson, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Cait. My first gut is, when you're editing tons of video, so like when we're at an event and I'm getting tons of crowd shots and things like that, and if I have to use my phone, I always go landscape. But this article's really made me rethink that, especially on Facebook, because I thought about it after reading the article, and I really don't log into my laptop after 5 p.m. to go and scroll through on a web browser all my social media. It's all on my phone. And honestly, a lot of times, because like if I'm like laying on the couch or doing something like that, I have my screen lock on, so that way it doesn't turn and I can lay sideways and that sort of thing. So I usually have my screen lock on. So having a vertical video that just fits to that size of the screen, it kind of helps, and I think that's better, and I completely understand where they're coming from. But another thing that they said was that vertical video is outperforming the square videos on LinkedIn as well. So not only landscape, but squares. So like filling up that square isn't the most important thing anymore. Because if you think about it on Instagram TV, so IGTV would be vertical. That's like the one you want to shoot in on that, because it kind of, when you watch it, you can expand the video and watch it kind of like a story. It goes full screen. Whereas, the traditional Instagram is just in that little square, but a lot of times you have it linking back to your IGTV account if you're using that. So, I think that's something to keep in mind going forward in 2019 and beyond. So
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at Jim Catalano. They're an accounting firm, and he's like, no videos for us introverts, LOL. Tracy said, and this is what I think is interesting, Cait. So I like your videos on LinkedIn that are hamburger or horizontal. And I like those just because I feel like I get the picture filled up. But, to Tracy's point here, a lot of us are on our desktops, the ones that are in LinkedIn B2B are on our desktops most of the day. So when we're scrolling, we just happen to have a LinkedIn tab open. So, I know we only have like 1 minute left, but I almost think that this begs a special flash class on how should you shoot video, vertical or horizontal, and then we can take some of the best practices that we're finding and learning and do that. So
yeah, absolutely. Before we get off the topic, though, there's a couple other really important things that this article points out that I think is worth saying, and one that we've touched on before. But, a great way to use video content for your brand is the behind the scenes content. It's the behind the scenes at an event, the team highlights, videos of your people hanging out, doing what they're doing, using new products and showcasing those. And I just want to point that out, as a lot of people on the line are looking at working video content into their strategy. It's the authentic videos that I still think are so great over the reproduced ones. So just something to keep in mind if you're looking at checking it out.
So let's make note of that. We'll come up with some video. Are you guys up for that? I think the audience is raving that they want flash classes on Jackson. It says I'm muted. Am I talking?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, it said, for some reason it said I was muted. Okay, so I think we'll come up with some classes on that and make sure that we do that. Now, people, do not forget to engage. So, Cait, if they engage on social, because we give away prizes at the end, where should they engage?
So, of course, we're on Facebook and we are live tweeting this on Twitter. The handle is Get Social Jack, also on LinkedIn. And Jen is live engaging with you in the Facebook group right now, Business Influencer Alliance. If you haven't been accepted into that group yet, send us a request. She'll add you real quick and you can engage with us right there.
Yeah, right on. All right. Well, then, and then Jackson, go ahead and take us out. And where can people find this after the fact?
Yeah, so that's all for the influencer news update this week. Tune in next week for more articles and tips on how to build your influence. If you want to tweet to us throughout the week, you can tweet to us at Get Social Jack or individually at Jackson DeLisle, Cait Hassett, or Dean DeLisle. Let us know what kind of articles you want to hear on the influence factor. If you have questions, just general questions, we can cover them on here as well. So make sure to keep in contact on that, as well as in the Business Influencer Alliance. And then you can find this after the fact on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Spotify, and CastBox.
Wow. So, nice. Right on.
Everywhere.
Thank you for listening to the Influence Factory podcast. We welcome feedback and suggestions. You can provide these by visiting our website at www.myinfluencefactory.com. And if you are interested in Social Jack's 90 Days to Influence program, you can simply go to 90daystobusinessinfluence.com and simply ask for the next steps. While our program airs regularly on Zoom webcasts and Facebook Live on Wednesdays at noon Central, we invite you to download episodes on your favorite channel: YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, and who knows where else in the future. We will also provide occasional on-location live streams with special guests that we will announce in our community Facebook group, Business Influencer Alliance, as well as on all Social Jack channels. Our mission is to help you build your digital business influence with this podcast, as well as inspire, educate, and entertain those who are hungry to collaborate in a cool place with cool business professionals just like you.